Good morning, my dear students. Hope all of you are well and you are doing everything well. Okay. So, in my last class, I have discussed of different types of chemical reactions like combination, displacement, double decomposition, neutralization. Okay. And today, I'll discuss the energy changes in a chemical reaction. Okay. So whenever you are thinking about the physical changes, these physical changes may or may not be associated with energy change. But chemical changes always associated with energy changes. These energy may be in the form of light, heat or sound, even electricity. Okay. So every substance has a fixed amount of stored energy which is in the form of potential energy, and this is referred to as its chemical energy. Okay. So the various atoms in a compound are held together by some attractive forces. It may be electrostatic attractive force. Okay. Or there may be sharing of electron, then they are forming the covalent bond and the attraction presents among the different types of molecules or atoms. Okay, that is electrostatic attraction. Now, during a chemical reaction, what is happening? Old bonds are breaking and new bonds are forming. So you have to supply energy. Okay, you have to supply energy to break the new bonds, and when to break the old bonds. Okay, and energy is releasing or energy is released during the formation of new bonds. Okay, and the energy required to break a particular bond or the bonds present in a particular molecule is not always equal to the energy released due to the formation of bonds in product molecules. Okay, so hence some energy is either released or absorbed during a chemical reaction, and this is generally represented by capital delta H. Here it is written delta capital H. Okay, so depending upon the energy released or absorbed in a particular chemical reaction, the chemical reactions are broadly classified into two categories. One is exothermic reaction, another is endothermic reaction. In case of exothermic reaction, heat is released, so delta is negative, and endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed, and that is delta is equal to positive. Hope you can understand. So an exothermic reaction is the reaction in which energy is given to the surrounding, usually in the form of heat, and in this case the temperature of the reaction mixture is increased, and we are saying that this delta H is equal to negative. Now we can give different types of examples like burning of magnesium in presence of air. Okay, is a very good example of exothermic reaction where both heat and light is produced during this chemical reaction. Okay, now I am showing some activity. Okay, now this is called spirit lamp. Okay, inside spirit is there, that is ethyl alcohol. Okay, now what we are doing, we are taking a magnesium ribbon. So this is a magnesium strip or magnesium ribbon. Okay, so if you burn it, what will happen? You observe. So you are burning the magnesium ribbon. huge amount of light and heat is producing, as well as one white ash is also produced. Okay. So we are taking this ash inside a test tube. This is nothing but magnesium oxide. Again, we are burning this magnesium ribbon. Okay. So here, what you are observing, that huge amount of light and heat it is producing. Okay, and that is why this is used in firecrackers. Okay. Now, what is the reaction? Definitely this is an exothermic reaction where light and heat is produced. So we are burning magnesium in presence of oxygen, applying heat, and there is formation of MgO. Now it is balanced. So this MgO is basic in nature. If we take some water inside this, here magnesium oxide is there, I am taking some water, and if we apply heat, that means we are hydrolyzing this magnesium oxide to magnesium hydroxide. Okay, this is also basic nature. Okay, now if you apply heat to this, definitely it will produce magnesium hydroxide. By shaking also you can do this, but it will take time. But if we supply heat energy, the reaction will be faster. So this is hydrolysis reaction. So this magnesium oxide is turning into magnesium hydroxide, and the whole solution turns alkaline. I think some part of the magnesium oxide is dissolved, okay, in water, and so what we are doing here, we are adding water and applying heat, so it is producing that magnesium hydroxide. Okay, now how to understand? This one is alkaline solution. If we add some here inside this bottle, there is phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, it is colorless, and if we add 1-2 drops of phenolphthalein in this solution, 1-2 drops of phenolphthalein in this solution, you see what color it is coming. So it is what color? Pink color is coming. So that indicates that magnesium oxide is basic in nature. Okay. So whole solution turns pink in color. Okay. So magnesium oxide is basic in nature. From here you can understand this forming magnesium hydroxide. That is why it's changing the color of the phenolphthalein solution into pink color. Okay. Hope you can understand. So this is an exothermic reaction where huge amount of heat and light is producing. Okay. Next, I will give some examples of exothermic reactions. When carbon burns in presence of oxygen to form carbon dioxide, okay, there also a lot of heat is evolved. Okay, so the reaction is carbon is reacting with oxygen gas in presence of heat, forming carbon dioxide gas, and lot of heat will be produced. Okay, and the combustion of natural gas, you can think about the methane. Okay, this is also an important source of energy for homes, industry, Okay, and methane is the main constituent of the natural gas. So when we burn the methane gas, it also produces carbon dioxide and water. So methane is reacting with oxygen, we apply it, that will form carbon dioxide gas and water. Now here we have to give here 2 water and then oxygen will be 2. Now I think it is balanced. It is balanced. Now this type of reaction, okay, where heat energy is produced, we can use as fuel. Wood also contain carbon, okay, we are using wood as fuel, we are using kerosene, petrol, everything, okay, containing carbon, that is producing carbon dioxide and water, and huge amount of heat will produce, okay, that we can use as fuel, okay, as lot of heat is forming, okay, and so they are called as fuels. Hope you can understand. Now when water is added to quicklime, a lot of heat energy is produced. So what is the formula of quicklime? Quicklime is nothing but calcium oxide. So here if you add water, definitely it will do some chemical reaction. So there will be formation of calcium hydroxide, and this is called quicklime, and this is called slackline. Plus there will be formation of huge amount of heat. Okay, actually when you drop some calcium oxide or quicklime inside water, the water after some time what will happen? The water starts boiling, and there will be production of one hissing sound. Okay, and this process is called the slacking of lime. Hope you can understand. So these are all examples of exothermic reactions where heat is producing, and sometimes in reaction there may be production of sound also. Okay, there may be production of heat and there may be production of sound. Okay, suppose you can think about the burning of hydrogen gas. Okay, in your practical there is identification of hydrogen gas. So how to prepare hydrogen gas? If you take any active metal, okay, if you take zinc granulated or granulated zinc, if you add some acid, mineral acid, dilute mineral acid, like dilute sulfuric acid, then it will produce hydrogen gas. And if you burn this hydrogen gas in presence of oxygen present in air, then there will be formation of water, as well as that hydrogen gas will burn with a blue flame, and there will be formation of pop sound. Okay, now I am showing this thing. Okay, and this is one your zinc granules. So these are the zinc granules. So I am taking inside a test tube. These granulated zincs are not in pure zinc. Okay, there is some impurity. And next we are adding some dilute sulfuric acid. Now you watch what is happening. So reaction started. Zinc is reacting with this dilute sulfuric acid, and there is formation of hydrogen gas. You see, hydrogen gas is forming. Okay. Now if you burn this hydrogen gas, you will get one sound, and that sound is called pop sound. Now again now this matchstick we are entering inside this hydrogen gas form inside this test tube. Okay, now you see, wait for some time. The hydrogen gas is replacing the air present in this test tube. definitely you will get some pop sound. Again I am trying. What happened? We have to add more acid. Now you observe, okay, one pop sound is formed, okay. Again we will try this. Actually the concentration of acid was low, that is why the rate of reaction was slower, okay. Now it is, now here hydrogen gas production is fast, okay. Now anytime we can produce this pop sound. This is also one identification test of hydrogen gas, okay. By this also you can identify hydrogen gas, by this pop sound. Actually the gas is colorless and burns with blue flame, and it will produce also one pop sound. See here. Again I am showing you. Now listen the sound. So this hydrogen gas is reacting with oxygen gas present in air and forming pop sound. So first what we are doing, that zinc is reacting with dilute sulfuric acid, and this is also an exothermic reaction. Heat is produced, formation of zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas, plus there will be formation of heat. And next we are reacting this hydrogen gas with oxygen gas, okay, and we are burning it, hydrogen gas, then it is producing water, plus heat plus sound is also formed, pop sound. So these are the examples of exothermic reaction. Another exothermic reaction we can tell about the neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction where acid is reacting with base forming salt and water. Suppose if we take the base, so already this is the base solution, magnesium hydroxide. Already we have shown this base solution, okay. Now here if we add acid, what will happen? Suppose this is the magnesium hydroxide, this is the base, and here if we add dilute H2SO4, definitely it is a neutralization reaction, and in case of neutralization reaction it will also produce heat. So magnesium hydroxide will react with H2SO4 forming magnesium sulfate, plus there will be formation of H2. Okay, so here you have to write twice H2. So this is base and this is acid, and forming salt plus water. Now how to understand that acid is base is neutralized by acid? So here we have taken one indicator. Already I have shown you that inside this magnesium hydroxide phenolphthalein indicator is there. That is why it is showing that pink color. Okay. Now if we add acid drop by drop to this solution, then you see what is happening here. dissolve. That means that OH minus present in the solution is neutralized by the hydronium ion, okay, and this reaction is called neutralization reaction. And here if we just touch the test tube, then we are feeling hot, okay, so definitely it is a neutralization reaction. So here actually the reaction is happening, that is H plus is reacting with OH minus forming water, okay, and all of you know that in neutral condition or in acid solution, okay, the phenolphthalein remain colorless. So first we have taken some basic solution, that is the base solution, that is the magnesium hydroxide. We are adding dilute sulfuric acid, and then there will be production of salt and water, okay, and the phenolphthalein pink color become discharged, okay, becomes colorless. So in this way we can understand the neutralization reaction, okay. Next we will give the examples, okay, like respiration. When we are inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide, what is happening, that is food are decomposing, like glucose, okay, is decomposed to carbon dioxide, okay, and huge amount of energy is forming, okay, as well as water vapor is also forming, okay. So in this case this is an exothermic reaction, as well as respiration is a chemical change, okay, and that heat we are utilizing for doing our wash. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss that burning of coal, burning of petrol, diesel, okay, all are very good example of the exothermic reaction. Even formation of ammonia. So nitrogen gas reacting with hydrogen gas. Okay, then there will be formation of ammonia gas, okay. So this is also an example of exothermic reaction, okay. Next we will discuss the graph of exothermic reaction. So here we will draw a energy profile diagram of a reaction, so that you can understand what type of reaction is going on here. This is the x-axis and this is y-axis. So we are plotting energy along y-axis, and this is the progress of the reaction, that is reaction coordinate. Progress of reaction. Now definitely the reactant material will have some energy. Suppose this is the energy state of the reactant. Reactant we are writing as R, okay, and in case of exothermic reaction we are getting the product, and in this case the energy level of product P, okay, so R is the reactant and P is the product. So energy of reactant will be higher and product will be at the lower, so product will be stable compared to the reactant, okay. So definitely there will be some diagram, okay. So this is indicating that reactant is transferring into the product in a chemical reaction, and this energy is called activation energy. This is the minimum amount of energy, okay, activation energy that is required, okay, for this reaction, that we are supplying by heat, okay, or light or electricity, okay. Now this energy difference, that is the reactant and product, this will be definitely negative, if we write that product minus reactant, okay, definitely it is negative, and that is delta H is equal to negative. So it is indicating that this is an reaction coordinate or reaction graph of an exothermic reaction. So again I am telling, this is the energy level of reactant and this is the product. So as the reactant, when it is converting product, there is release of energy, definitely the delta H will be the negative value, okay, and as delta is the negative value, so this is called exothermic reaction, okay. Next we will discuss the endothermic reaction. So endothermic reaction is a process where heat is taken from the surrounding in the form of heat, and as a result the temperature of the reaction mixture is decreased, and in endothermic reaction the energy required to break the bonds is greater than the energy released when new bonds are formed, okay. So here also we can do the same thing. Here delta H will be positive, here reactant will be at the lower energy level and product will be at the higher energy level. So again I am drawing another graph. So this is energy, this y axis, and x axis we are plotting the progress of reaction. So this is the energy state of reactant and this is the energy state of product. Okay, so this is the diagram, and here the difference, the energy of reactant and product, that is the delta H, okay, that will be positive, okay. So in this case the product energy is higher compared to the reactant, okay, and that is why energy will be absorbed from the surrounding, and here this is the activation energy of this reaction, okay. Hope you can understand. So next I will give you some examples, okay, of the endothermic reaction. If you take carbon and sulfur, suppose you take carbon and sulfur, you apply heat, there will be formation of CH2, there is a liquid compound, carbon disulfide. So formation of carbon disulfide, here heat is absorbing from the surroundings, okay. So definitely here delta H is positive, that means it is a very good example of endothermic reaction. Next we will give another example, okay, that is nitrogen is reacting with oxygen. When nitrogen and oxygens are heated together at higher temperature, near about 3000 degrees centigrade, okay, then there will be formation of nitric oxide. During lightning in the sky, okay, now so you are observing that lightning, and I think yesterday, okay, 27 people died, okay, because of this lightning. Very sad news, okay. And this atmosphere containing nitrogen as well as oxygen is present. When there is lightning, then this amount of heat, that means around above the 3000 degrees centigrade heat is producing, and definitely there will be formation of nitric oxide in the air. So this is an endothermic reaction. This nitric oxide again will oxidize to nitrogen dioxide, and when rain will come, then this nitrogen dioxide will mix with water, forming that nitric acid or nitrous acid, okay, and that will come as acid rain, okay. So here I am telling that nitrogen is reacting with oxygen gas, okay, near about 3000 degrees centigrade, and there is formation of nitric oxide. Here also delta H is positive. So this is an example of endothermic reaction. You can think about the any type of thermal decomposition reaction. Suppose if you apply heat to calcium carbonate near about 1000 degrees centigrade, then it will form calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so in this case what is happening, that calcium carbonate is decomposing to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide and it is absorbing heat. So definitely this is also an example of endothermic reaction. Dissolving of certain salts like ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate. If you dissolve this salt in a test tube and if you just hold the outside, you will feel cold. So this is dissolution is a endothermic process. Next we can tell that photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process, okay, where light is required, sunlight is required. So it takes place or it takes energy from the sun. So it is also an endothermic reaction. Reaction which takes place, okay, with the absorption of light energy, they are called photochemical reaction. So photosynthesis is one type of photochemical reaction. Other photochemical reaction we can tell you. Oxygen, when it is exposed in ultraviolet light, UV light or UV radiation, then this oxygen will produce ozone. Okay, so this is also one example where light energy is used, okay, that UV light is used for photochemical reaction. Another decomposition reaction I can tell you, that iodine, okay, if you take iodine gas and if you expose to light, then this iodine bond will break and you will get two iodine atoms. Okay, so this is photolytic decomposition reaction. Okay, if you take silver salt like silver bromide, here also if you expose it in presence of or if you give sunlight, okay, it will dissociate into silver and Br, and two Br will combine, there will formation of bromine gas. If you take silver nitrate solution in presence of light, it will produce twice Ag plus twice NO2 plus O2. Okay, so this is also an example of photochemical reaction. So these examples are very important for your exam purpose. You have to practice by writing in home. Okay. Next we will discuss the another type of reaction, that is called electrochemical reaction. Electrochemical reaction is a type of reaction. This type of reaction proceeds with absorption of electrical energy. Okay. Already you know the example, that is the electrolytic decomposition of water. Pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. But if you add some acid, that means acidulated water, if you pass electricity through electrodes, definitely there will be production of or dissociation of water, and there will be produced of hydrogen and oxygen gas, and you will get hydrogen gas at cathode and oxygen gas will form at the anode. Okay. And then in the same way, if you take the molten NaCl and if you pass the electric current or electricity, pass electric current, okay, then at cathode there will be formation of sodium. Sodium will be deposited, and anode there will be formation of chlorine gas. These are the examples of electrochemical reactions. So hope you can understand. Okay, but if we take the solid NaCl, as there is no free ions, okay, it will not conduct electricity and there will be no electrolytic reaction. So you have to take either molten NaCl, sodium chloride, or you can take aqueous solution of sodium chloride, but their products will be different because water will also dissociate to produce H plus or H minus, and that we will discuss in the chapter of electrolysis, okay, in class 10. So in this way we have completed this chapter. Hope you can understand, okay, and if you have any question You can ask through your school query button, or there will be live class. In live class also you can ask, or you can send SMS through WhatsApp. Okay, and so in this way we have completed your pre-half yearly unit test portion. Next we will discuss different types of questions, and today's video I will give you the exercise problems, and from next day I will give you the Google Form test. Okay, and this test you must have to attend, because I am giving you assessment mark through this Google Form, as well as I may take Viva test, okay, in live classes, and you have to be prepared for that. Okay, so today up to this, thank you.